Hello, everyone. I am Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology, and it's time for Tarot Talk. Today, we will look at the Death card. I have chosen this card because we are moving into Scorpio season, and in the tarot, Scorpio is represented by the Death card. So, the first thing I want to say is I realize this is a shocker card. Nobody wants to see the Death card in a spread, but maybe we should re-examine how we look at death. Maybe we should look at it as transition, transformation, a change in energy. And so I think that is more of what this card represents. So I do have both the Rider-Waite deck, which is here. This is the traditional tarot. You guys know that I am an advocate of, if you are studying tarot as a beginner, whether you like it or not, you really have to start with the Rider-Waite deck. Waite being W-A-I-T-E. I understand this is very old, an old deck, but this is the foundation of tarot, you guys, and this is where it really starts. I do readings based on the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and I went ahead and put them both out here now because they're very similar. I like the Modern Witch deck simply because it's modern, okay? And that's this deck right here on this side. So I went ahead and put them out from the beginning together because these two cards are very similar. They pretty much show the same symbolism. And if we're honest, tarot is all about symbolism. So let's break it down. First of all, the Death card should probably be renamed the change card, the transition card, the transformation card, because one, it represents Scorpio energy. Scorpio is absolutely the card that is transformation. It's change. And two, the Death card really does represent a rebirth as well. So this isn't just about dying. This is about being reborn. This is about the transfer of energy, the transformation of what you've learned and how you will take this information moving forward. Libra is an air sign. Air signs are all about the information, and Libra balances that information out. So now that we've gone from justice in Libra, now that justice has been served, transformation must happen. If the Death card shows up in a reading, this is absolutely a time of pruning, of getting rid of letting something fall away. This is about what you no longer need, what you need to let go of. What I like about these cards, if you look at this is the Emperor. The Emperor has been tackled by change, by transformation. The Emperor is represented by the sign of Aries. In the tarot, Aries is the Emperor. Aries is a very stubborn sign. It's ruled by Mars, which is the co-ruler of Scorpio, which is the ruler of the Death card. The Death card is a Scorpio card. Aries doesn't really like to embrace change. Aries likes to make things happen. And so this represents, not can, but in the Death card, you have to find your position. Are you the Emperor? Are you the Hierophant? Now, specifically in the modern or the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, which is the opposite of Scorpio and the sign after the Emperor or Taurus. This is really about overcoming those things that have you stubborn. Taurus is very stubborn, resistant, that have you like, no, I'm going to stick right here. I find this valuable. I'm going to stick with this being valuable. The Hierophant is actually begging for things to stay the way they are. This makes me think about recently going to a restaurant and speaking with an older gentleman that was significantly older. I'm a Black astrologer and a Black woman. and he was a white man. And I told him the type of work that I did, and he thought it was very interesting and said, well, what do you have to tell me about the future, young lady? And in that, I told him the old way of doing things are coming to an end. And he said, well, I hope not. This is very Hierophant energy. Hierophant, Taurus energy, comes from a very wise, traditional place that doesn't like change. But how about we are realizing in 2021, and really it started with 2022, that change is important. Change is needed. Upgrading and revolution and those things are super important. So that is one thing that this is. The Hierophant, like, are you begging? If this shows up in the death card, are you the Emperor? Are you the Hierophant? Or are you this child that's here? Now, this is the maiden who is simply surrendering. This is where my fingers were first pointing. This is a maiden. The maiden doesn't actually show up anywhere else in the tarot. She's here just as a surrender. And honestly, when it comes to it, the tarot isn't really about surrendering. It's about making things happen. So let's hope that we're not just like, oh God, oh yeah, ugh. Or are we being stubborn? This is not necessarily the best place to be either. Trying to hold on to the old ways of doing things, begging and pleading with death to not transform you and transition you. This is not the best use of this card or this energy or this time of year. The Emperor, who has been tackled because it was resistant to change. Honestly, in this image, the best position is that of the child, which is represented also in the Sun card, or is like this representation of the Sun card, which is embracing the change, which is excited about this newness, this new energy that comes from, look at this child is actually holding a rose. Roses are love. Roses are compassion. And the red rose specifically is about the passion that is ignited from this change. This change actually ignites something within us, our inner child, our inner creativity, our inner passion. That is what this is showing. Okay? There's also some things that I would like us to look at when it comes to the actual death card itself, or death itself. The symbolism of death is riding on a white horse. This white horse is representing spirituality, the spiritual realm, riding in on spirituality, knowing, embracing the fact that change, transformation is coming from a spiritual place, the spiritual realm. Also, we see spirituality represented in these white flowers here. Now, these roses or flowers are fully blossoming. They're open. We are opening to the new spiritual realm, a new sense of spirituality. The death card is really asking us to embrace transformation. I encourage us all to be the child in the image, to be excited, to embrace, to be encouraged, to be in love. That red rose, right? Be in love with the transformation that is coming, that is happening, that is here. We're in Scorpio season. We learned a whole lot in Libra season, right? We learned a lot when it came to do with our friends, our partnerships, our relationships. These things are very transformative to us. Allow that transformation to happen. Do not resist. If you resist, you'll be toppled, knocked over, trampled like the Emperor. No matter how feisty you are about it, remember the Emperor is Aries. It doesn't matter how feisty you are about change and transformation. The shit gonna happen anyways. Don't be stubborn. Don't plead and beg. Well, I hope it doesn't change. Times are changing. Change is good. The younger generation needs to know that we've grown. We've learned. We're blossoming. That's why the younger generation has the roses. We're blossoming. We're coming from a place of love. We're not just surrendering to the change. We're embracing with love the change. the transformation, the transition. This is a beautiful card. This is a beautiful time of year. I hope that we all embrace it. I hope that we're all encouraged that all of the things that we learned during during Libra season, Mercury retrograde in Libra. This brought a lot of information to the forefront when it comes to relationships, partnerships, agreements. A lot of us didn't really want to hear that shit, but we needed to hear it. We needed to know. And now that we do, instead of resisting the Hierophant, instead of the Emperor, it was resistant. We can embrace this change. We can embrace this transition. And Scorpio does absolutely represent the phoenix, which rises from the ashes. And we can embrace all that as well. I hope this helps. I hope you are encouraged. And until next time, peace.